What the hell is Saw Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
All right, so this is the last video of this series of the player evaluations, and obviously it makes sense to end it with the forwards. Now, before I get to talking about forwards, before anything, make sure you guys like and comment on this video and subscribe to Saucy Sports TV so you guys can get that content on the other teams here in Houston and the Houston area. Obviously, the Houston Astros, the Dynamo, the Rockets, any team that's here in Houston. This is the channel to go to. Like I said, you have Saucy Sports that covers the Texans, and you got Saucy Sports TV that covers the rest. So, talking about the forward position, it's honestly very important. Obviously, this is the position that's mostly known for scoring goals, but it also helps to, kind of be that distraction for the center backs, so that midfields can come in and also do their thing, and also be that providing thing. So things that you look for as far as forwards goes is speed or height. Sometimes comes with both, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously the smaller the player, usually the quicker they are, and the taller the player, usually the slower they are. But once you get that good mix of players, and also being able to have hops also helps as well. But when you have a combination of that, it definitely builds. Now, for the Dynamo this year, they try to use the lone striker because they were usually using the 4-3-3, and it usually means Marvin Martinez was up front since he was the starting forward. But then obviously things weren't working, and then they brought in Christian Ramirez, and they started using a 4-4-2, which having two forwards, and it actually worked out quite beautifully. And honestly, I think that's the way to go with the Dynamo, unless certain things happen, and maybe it's time to look back into that original formation. But it all depends on what the manager wants to do, as far as the formations go. But you definitely want some solid pieces in the forward position, as well as some good depth as well. So we'll go ahead and discuss this now. Alright guys, so to start things off, we're going to start with the star man himself, Marvin Martinez, who had 34 appearances, scored 15 goals, 7 assists, and 1 yellow card. I mean, this guy, there's a reason why they extended him, and it clearly showed. He had another great year. I definitely want to keep Marvin Martinez, but once again, the rumors are coming out that Cruz Azul in Mexico is interested in Marvin Martinez, and this is where I'm going to say, if you choose to sell Marvin Martinez, and it's mainly just to get more money into the team so you can go out there and buy some players, I understand it. And I think the fact that we have Christian Ramirez is kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, we have at least somebody that can come in and score goals for the team in the meantime while we find and develop a forward. So I personally want to keep Marvin Martinez, but if the offer is just too good to say no to, we're just gonna have to part ways with Marvin Martinez. Alright, so the next guy we're going to talk about is a guy that we got on trade deadline, which was Christian Ramirez from LAFC. And with the Dynamo, he had a total of 10 appearances, scored 5 goals and assists. Christian Ramirez had a struggle this season with LAFC as he was just not able to get into that first 11. And I think coming to the Dynamo actually did a lot of good for him because he was able to play again and really be that Christian Ramirez that everybody knows him for, especially when he was in Minnesota United. So I think Christian Ramirez was a great pick, and I think we definitely need to try to keep him. Whether we use 2 forwards or 1 forward or however they want to do this formation, I think if we end up losing Marvin Martinez, I think Christian Ramirez can easily step up and to be that starting forward in the meantime while we develop a young forward to come in and take in his role, because Christian Ramirez is up there in age, so he's definitely not the long-term solution. So he's definitely the short-term solution as we develop somebody to go in and take in that spot for him. So I definitely try to keep Christian Ramirez. Alright, the next guy we're going to talk about is Ronaldo Pena. His contract will be expiring at the end of November of this year. He had a total of 8 appearances, scored 2 goals, 1 assist, and 4 yellow cards. The thing with me with Ronaldo Pena, it is a weird thing. I want to keep him because I see that there's some potential with him. But someone needs to get him disciplined. This guy is such a hothead. He makes dumb mistakes when he gets mad, and we don't need that, especially from the forward, the guy that's supposed to be scoring goals. So I want somebody that can get Ronaldo Pena to clean up his act and start playing forward. I think this is the reason why we brought him in, because we also knew the potential of Marvin Martinez being bought out by a really big name team. And, you know, we were like, oh, we could just bring him in and he has potential. He obviously plays with the youth Venezuelan national teams. Hopefully, ideally, will be eventually playing for the Venezuelan national team. And, I mean, obviously, with him not playing doesn't help. He did get injured this year, so that was kind of another reason why he wasn't playing. But I definitely want to see him play. So I definitely want to keep Ronaldo Pena. Now, in the event that we don't sell Marvin Martinez, I will end up saying let's just go ahead and let him let his contract go and just let him walk. But ideally, I would rather keep him. Even with Marvin Martinez, I would definitely try to keep him and maybe sell him to a team or let him play at Rio Grande Valley so he can get some games in. And I just don't like the idea of him not playing. And so either we keep him with the team or we send him down to Rio Grande Valley so he can play. But I definitely want Ronaldo Pena to be playing more. So he could be that guy that when Marvin Martinez leaves, we train him up, teach him to not get so hot-headed so early. So then when Christian Ramirez either is not playing up to par or maybe he needs a break, we can just put him in the starting lineup and he goes and performs. So this is how I feel about Ronaldo Pena. All right, so the last forward is Michael Salazar. His contract will be expiring at the end of November. Majority of this year, he's been playing with Rio Grande Valley Toros, where he made 21 appearances, scored 10 goals, 1 assist, and 1 yellow card. And with the Dynamo, he had a total of 10 appearances, 1 yellow card. I like Michael Salazar. I like his pace. I like his speed. I think we definitely need to try to keep him. And I think the fact that he did so well at Rio Grande Valley shows that he needs at least a spot with the team. And like I said with the other guys that have majority of their playing time with Rio Grande Valley, because they're listed on the roster, that's why I'm addressing them on this video. But I definitely will say I want to keep Michael Salazar. I think with his style of play, especially if we do a 2-forward type formation, I think he would be that solid number 2 to Christian Ramirez or Marvin Martinez, or come off for Marvin Martinez, depending on what the Dynamo do as far as Marvin Martinez and Christian Ramirez. Ideally, Marvin Martinez and Christian Ramirez are the starters for me, but I think Michael Salazar could be that guy that, while Ronaldo Pena isn't necessarily living up to those expectations that the Dynamo had in him, Michael Salazar could be that guy that is, you know, even keel, can go out there, do his job, and not worry about it. So this is the last video of my player evaluation series. If you guys stuck through them, you're amazing. But make sure you guys like this video, go into that comment section, and subscribe to Saucy Sports TV so you guys can keep getting more content on the other teams here in Houston. So that's all I really got, guys. Thanks for listening and chucking up a deuce. Y'all stay saucy.
Perfect.